The idea for today's cocktail comes from an old college roommate and his wife, who have been watching this channel since the beginning. Marty and Jessica, thank you so much. And I'm happy to show you all how I make a whiskey sour. A whiskey sour, at first glance, is a fairly straightforward drink. It has whiskey and lemon juice and some kind of sugar. The addition of egg white, though, while very classic, does make it a little bit trickier. I will say I've not successfully made an egg white cocktail at home. So let's do one on camera and hope it goes better. I'll also show a little bit of a twist on one at the end called a New York Sour, which is topped with wine. It's a fun little float, both on the palate and also visually, because the red wine, if we can do it right, will sit on top of the yellowish whiskey colored liquid. So stick around to the end to see that twist. All right, so let's make a whiskey sour. We're gonna do 2 ounces of bourbon. This is Dickel bourbon. It's one that I like. It has a bit more fruit than a lot of other Kentucky bourbons out there, and it's kind of a fun one, especially for a drink like this. It's from Tennessee, which is not Kentucky, as people from Kentucky will point out, but it's a bourbon I really like, and use whatever bourbon you like or have at home. 2 ounces of bourbon. 1 and 2. Smells great already. We're off to a good start. We'll do 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. We'll do a 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. This is actually a semi-rich simple syrup. I've got 1.5 parts sugar to 1 part water. And we will, with reckless abandon, do 1/2 ounce of egg white. This is pre-measured, so I'm just going to toss it right in. With an egg white cocktail, you do what's called a dry shake. I don't know why it's called a dry shake. It's not dry, it's liquid, but there's no ice, and it's called a dry shake. I didn't make it up. You have to be careful, whenever you're shaking with egg, because it does want to expand, and you'll feel some pressure behind it. You don't have to shake super long, maybe 10 seconds or so. But yeah, it's kind of off-gassing at each time. So we get it incorporated, and now I'll get some ice and we'll shake again. The wet shake, I don't know what they call it. Here's a glass, a coupe glass. We've already got some good froth in there, but let's keep shaking now that we have the ice, and we'll get it chilled and diluted. Moment of truth. When I've done an egg white cocktail before, for some reason it kind of seized up in the shaker. The double strainer should, in theory, help us get that nice frothy head on top. We'll see how it goes here. This is already looking, I would say, more successful than what I've done in the past. Whiskey sour. Let's give it a taste. Well, I can confidently say that this is the best egg white cocktail I've made at home. It has a richness to it. Not totally like eggnog, because there's still like a citrus punch to it. This is great. I didn't actually expect it, simply because the egg white, I don't know if I've done it twice or only once, but it turned out so poorly the first time that I didn't have high hopes for today, but this is really nice. I don't know if I'll be able to float the red wine on such a wide, shallow glass, but I'm gonna try. Okay, I poured some wine. This is some Cab Sav, California Cab, from a larger bottle just into this one. Not to obscure the label, I'm sure it's great, but I was able to put a pour spout on this bottle where it wouldn't fit on the other one. So let's try this. I hope I'm not ruining a drink that I actually like quite a bit. So that didn't really work at all. I did successfully put wine in the cocktail, but it sunk to the bottom. It kind of looks cool. It looks different if you have a big clear cube. The way that I've done this before is by shaking up the cocktail, pouring it over ice instead of putting it in a coupe. But normally I have a big clear cube that I'm pouring it over too. And while I am using the spoon normally, the clear cube also helps diffuse and send the wine into different directions. It didn't turn out visually like I thought it would, but it's kind of cool. Little Rothko effect on top, a little bit of wine on the bottom. I'll pretend like I meant to do it this way. A little bit of visual interest. The wine actually works really well too. It plays nicely with the texture. It actually gives it maybe a little bit more structure. Maybe because the wine is oak aged, there's like a little tannin depth to it also. This is great too. Turns out egg white cocktails are great, much to my surprise. I think my issue historically was actually that I added too much egg white. The egg I just used probably would have produced a little bit over an ounce of egg white. And I don't know if it's like the structure, the albumin, right? That's egg protein. Anyway, I don't know if I got too much of the white in it, but this time whenever I cracked it, I was able to just get like the most watery liquid portion of the inside of the egg and measured it exactly to 1/2 ounce, so I didn't overshoot it. And I would totally make this again. And I would encourage you to not be scared of egg white cocktails. It does pose a small health risk that is worth mentioning because it is uncooked egg, but it's great and I recommend it. I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit about whiskey sours today, and I hope you make one at home. Whether it's a whiskey sour or you want to call it a Boston sour or you call it a New York sour, wherever your sour is from, I hope you enjoy it. At the end of the day, drinks are for fun. And my goal with this channel is to teach people enough so they can share that fun with the people they love. Come and be amazed at what you can do. Cheers. You know, when I started a YouTube channel, I didn't realize all of the time I would be spending editing and messing with my lapel mic. I didn't realize what a short neck I had, but I can never fit this lapel mic on a t-shirt or a crew neck shirt like this. It's hard being a YouTuber, but I do it for you, and I'll keep doing it. Thanks for watching.